Hello and welcome back, everyone, to Super Smash Bros. Ultimate on Rocket Rabbit Commentaries. And in this episode, we're continuing on with the World of Light by getting one of the more important support spirits for us, Latias and Latios. This is a very important spirit encounter, specifically because after we successfully get this one, we will no longer have to deal with strong winds ever again. Unfortunately, we do have to beat two relatively powerful Charizards to get it, so... This particular fight takes place specifically on Delfino Plaza, and Delfino Plaza is actually one of the more interesting transitional stages in Smash Ultimate. But for this event match, we are sitting here in reference specifically to the Pokemon Forever movie.
Continue.
Yes, because even though I really like Kirby, I do have a bit of a problem with attempting to take down heavier targets that aren't just immediately falling over at me. So, and then they just give it to us. Wow.
And then double kill. Flawless victory.
Yes, Strong Wind Immunity is the most important support skill in the entirety of World of Light, because there are a bunch of effectively mandatory encounters that you have to have Strong Wind resist for, and being immune to Strong Wind makes those encounters significantly easier.
Oh, look, it's the Pokemon City from Smash Bros. 1.
It's Saffron City, Mr. Cloud.
Oh wow, they still use heavily pixelated Chansey for this.
Yeah, they still use heavily pixelated Chansey, Porygon, and Electrode.
The helipad of doom.
Oh, and Charmander. Charmander is another one that can come out there. I was trying to remember which one of the fire types that was, but yeah, it's Charmander. Hi, Electrode.
What?
Thank you, Electrode.
It's gonna blow.
Ah, Krusty Sean. The plus stats after eating is honestly a really powerful steroid, which is why we'll be getting it on our skill tree later on. I have not really gone over the skill tree because we've only seen it a couple of times, but you can actually you can use these skill spheres that you're getting after every event match in order to get significantly some pretty powerful passives for whatever fighter that you're using. And there are some very specific ones on the skill tree that we want to go get. Specifically, Heal with Smash Attacks and Poison Smash, as well as Metal Killer. We're going to need all of those eventually. But the reason why we're backtracking all the way over here is specifically to do this encounter, Captain. Not only is this a difficult fight due to the fact that we have to deal with strong winds, which is why it was important that we got Latios and Latios first, but Captain is going to be another one of the map spirits that we need specifically to go and unlock Isabelle. Sorry, not Isabelle. No, Captain is for Ryu. Yeah, because we need to be able to drive a boat, and we can't drive a boat without Captain's help.
It's Iggy from Super Mario World,
and other Mario games as well. The Koopalings have been in multiple games at this point.
Yeah, come over here and swing your balls this way.
So, a buoyancy reduced means effectively that if we end up in the water for too long, we will just immediately sink. And yeah, that this fight specifically isn't really difficult due to us fighting Bowser Jr. It's honestly due to all of the environmental gimmicks of having both strong wind and buoyancy reduction, making it so that we have to stay on the two somewhat smaller platforms in order to be safe at all in this fight.
Yeah, this wind is just not letting up.
It's not. It's the primary gimmick of the event is specifically, hey, you have to deal with the strong wind at all times. It's why getting Latios and Latios was extremely important, although we didn't end up needing it here. We will show off how busted it is later, though.
You got a shed.
Okay, so yeah. Looks like we're actually transitioning to try and go down and get Captain Falcon. Wheezing. As a support spirit, Wheezing is interesting specifically because he actually gives us its fire and explosion attack bonuses, which is cool. But there are only a couple of characters that we've got access to in World of Light that even have what can be defined as explosion attacks. One of the more important ones is actually Inkling, and I'm not good with Inkling, so yeah, that's never going to be a thing that we need to show off. All right, Jury.
So Bayonetta is just going to keep using kick attacks the entire game.
Yeah, because she specifically is linked to a Jury, the Street Fighter character that
Yuri.
Specifically linked to using high powered kicks for most of her moveset. But as with every Street Fighter character, once you understand what the play pattern is, you can block their play pattern and then throw loop them to death.
Yeah, because all she was doing the entire game was trying to do a mid-range cannon kick, and then because you kept intercepting because she was doing the same attack over and over again, it's easy pickings.
Nico Fire. This is one of the Mii's from one of the 3DS games. I don't remember which one of the 3DS games, but if you will recall, Mr. Cloud, there were actually a bunch of Nintendo technically freemium titles that released on the 3DS that focus specifically on the Mii universe of characters.
Victory!
Nico Fire is from one of those games. I don't know which one.
Time to take a trip down the road.
Gyro Wing. This is actually from the new Star Fox 64 remake.
Nice.
Kind of. Is it? Yeah, it's Star Fox Zero. Yeah, Star Fox Zero is what the Gyro Wing is from, and that's why you've never heard of it, because no one's actually successfully played all of Star Fox Zero.
No one?
That's not entirely true. Some call me Johnny, and Ted from Brains Cancer Comms did play through Star Fox Zero all the way through, but they did not enjoy it. So mostly because the Wii U controls for Star Fox Zero were a bit more cumbersome than they were, innovative. Mighty Gazelle's from F-Zero. That's all you need to know about him. He's got a relatively powerful car in F-Zero, to the point where I think in F-Zero X, it's actually one of the easier ones to play with. But now we have successfully made it over to Captain Falcon. We won't be using much of Captain Falcon, despite how powerful he is. And yes, Cloud, I know that you specifically really like Captain Falcon, right?
Falcon Punch!
Yeah.
His coolest... what I'll never forget is the transition between Super Smash Bros. Captain Falcon and Super Smash Bros. Melee Captain Falcon, where he seemed like a rock star when you meet him in Super Smash Bros. 1, when that was the very first time he even had voice dialogues. And then when you get to Melee, he sounds like something out of a Saturday morning cartoon, like, show me your boobs.
Well, that's because that's a...
Falcon Punch!
In universe, that is entirely consistent with him, because at least in F-Zero GX, Captain Falcon is, as one of the more successful racers in the F-Zero circuit, is a bit of a celebrity. So.
Yeah, but he sounds like a rock star, like Falcon Punch.
Well, he's supposed to be a cartoon superhero, so yeah.
And he was a bounty hunter.
Yeah.
And he was tough. He sounded like he could rock a guitar solo.
Now that Captain Rainbow is maxed out, we're going to switch over to the primary spirit that will be running for a majority of the rest of the run, Rayman. Despite the fact that Rayman is currently owned by Ubisoft, the reason why Nintendo actually has the license to this is not only because there were a couple of the Rayman games actually made it over to Wii U and Switch, but also the Rayman Rabbids ended up doing a pretty popular crossover with Mario, if you may recall, Mario and Donkey Kong Rabbids, and yeah. because of that, Nintendo now has access to some Rayman stuff.
The rabbits.
For the record, I'm actually a pretty big hater of the Rabbids in general, specifically because Rayman didn't need another cutesy mascot when it already had the Lumas and the Teensies. So I don't understand why we gave Rayman another cutesy wacky animal mascot, because they already had technically 2.5 of those.
If something works, don't stop doing it. Do it until it stops working.
Is that why Pichu is the only other successful electric mascot for Pokemon?
Well, of course, because it looks like Pikachu.
But Cloud, every generation we get a Pika clone that looks a lot like and has got similar use cases as Pikachu, but they never end up being relevant.
I'm Pikachu, yeah, and I'm Pikachu.
Well, although it never gets that blatant, it feels like it gets that blatant from time to time. Looking at you, fucking Plusle and Minun. And I even like Plusle and Minun, to be perfectly honest, but they are explicitly Pika clones.
They should, yeah, of course they are. The most surprising thing for me with respect to Plusle and Minun is that they were not related to Pikachu at all. Like, they were not on the evolution tree. One does not transform into the other. You can't trade for them. You can't. I mean, they learn similar moves, but then you learn quickly that Plusle and Minun are supposed to be used with like helping hands and like other combo type attacks. They're supposed to be used in like a 2-on-2 situation.
Yeah, they are specifically the Pika clones specifically to show off the double battles, to the point where Plusle specifically is the offensive end of the duo, and Minun is the defensive end.
And that they also tend to have static abilities that cause them to get more powerful if they're fighting in the presence or on the same team as the other.
Yeah, specifically
I think it's
plus
called, like,
and
positive
minus.
Charge and negative charge. Magnetism.
Alright, Link is down. So this is honestly a relatively difficult fight, specifically due to the fact that we've got a combination of environmental factors once again against us. Slippery stage and uncontrollable speed. Uncontrollable speed will just send you rocketing all across the arena, as I'm pretty sure you've been successfully able to notice. And then slippery stage effectively doubles our movement speed so long as we're actually on solid ground.
Come on, use your ultimate, Kirby.
There! We've successfully killed Villager with Ultra Sword. Smash!
Well, not yet, we haven't.
Yes, we have.
Okay, now he's dead.
Slumber immunity.
I'm gonna wash my windows with you.
Slumber immunity is a relatively important immunity to have. We will never be using it. It does come up.
It's just, it only works on Jigglypuff?
No, it does work on Jigglypuff. It does. But that's not the reason why you want to use it. You specifically want to use Slumber immunity against stages that have Slumber Floor as a consistent hazard. All right.
Oh, almost Ledgehogged him.
And all right. Dr. Mario is honestly is honestly an interesting character, specifically because he is, I believe, our first instance of an Echo Fighter. He actually performs a lot of the same actions as a normal Mario. But in the next episode, we'll get into why I actually prefer Dr. Mario over normal Mario, in that he hits harder. Be safe, everybody.